Welcome to the third part of chapter number 4, that is weathering and soil formation. So now in this chapter, weathering and soil formation, we will study about chemical weathering. Now, minerals in the rocks, they undergo chemical changes as well. When do they undergo chemical changes? When they react with water and air. So chemical weathering is a breakdown of rocks by chemical reaction that change the rocks made up or their composition. Okay, and when minerals in rocks come in contact with air and water, some dissolve, some react, and they get changed into different minerals. Okay, and the most common chemical weathering processes are oxidation, hydration, carbonation and solution. So let's study each in detail now. First one is oxidation. Now oxidation is a chemical reaction between some minerals in a rock and oxygen in the air. So it is a chemical reaction between these two. And oxidation, it changes iron minerals in rocks from a light gray color to a brown red color, and this is called rusting. Okay, and the change in color shows the change in composition, leading to the breakdown of the rocks. Hydration is when water gets in contact with a mineral or a rock, what happens it dissolves some minerals present in that rock, and as a result of this, what happens is some new compounds are formed, and this reaction is called hydrolysis. For example, when a granite rock, when it comes in contact with water, feldspar crystals inside the granite react chemically and thus forming clay minerals, and this clay, it then weakens the rock, making it more likely to break. Next is carbonation. Now carbonation is a type of chemical weathering in which what happens is carbon dioxide, it mixes with water to form carbonic acid. Okay, and this type of weathering is important in the formation of caves, and dissolved carbon dioxide in rainwater or even in moist air forms carbonic acid, and this acid reacts with minerals in rocks. And the mineral calcite, which is a common limestone, is particularly vulnerable to carbonation. Okay, and the next one is solution. Some rocks are composed of water-soluble minerals, and these minerals may be dissolved in rainwater that enters through cracks and crevices of rocks, and then it separates them from the insoluble minerals. This makes the rock loose and results in the disintegration, and this is termed as solution. Next is biological weathering. Now, unlike physical and chemical, biological or living agents, they are responsible for both decomposition also and for the breaking down, that is disintegration of rocks and minerals. So number one under that is humans and animals. So the action of man in disintegration of rock is known as he cuts rocks to build dams or channels and construct roads and buildings. So for all these purposes, the rocks, they are cut, okay, leading to the disintegration of rock by the action of man. All these activities result in increasing the surface area of the rock for the attack of chemical agents, and then accelerates the process of rock decomposition. Then the process of rock decomposition takes place. Activities of animals, birds and insects and worms makes holes in rocks and thus help in weathering. So thus they lead to weathering. Activities of animals, birds and insects. Next is in tropical and subtropical regions, ants and termites, what they do is they build galleries and passages, and they carry materials from lower to the upper surfaces and excrete acids. Okay, and oxygen and water with many dissolved substances, they reach every part of the rock through these cracks, holes and galleries that are made by ants and termites, okay, which speed up the process of disintegration. Last is rapids. Rapids, by burrowing into the ground, they destroy the soft rocks. Okay, moles, ants and bodies of dead animals provide substances which react with mineral and acid in the decaying process. Next is higher plants and roots. Now the roots of trees and other plants penetrate into the joints and crevices of the rocks. Crevice, it is a narrow opening or fissure, especially in rocks or walls. And as the roots grow, they exert a great force and the hard rock may break down then. For example, the peepal tree growing on walls or rocks. You can see here a tree breaking apart a rock by force. Next is the grass roots from a sponge-like mass, preventing erosion and conserving moisture, which thus allows moisture and air to enter into the rock for further action. So when air and moisture enters the rock, then it again leads to the disintegration. Some roots penetrate deep into the soil and may open some sort of drainage channel. Okay, and the roots running in crevices in limestone, stone and marble produces acids, and these acids have a solvent action on carbonates. Solvent means able to dissolve other substances. And the dead roots and plant residues, they decompose and they produce carbon dioxide, that is CO2. So they decay and they produce CO2, which is of great importance in weathering. And some of the effects of weathering are landslide, mud flow and soil formation takes place.